The Knicks season may have ended in the second round, but now they face one of their biggest off seasons ever. Let's talk about why. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Wa2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So it was a disappointing finish to what was a pretty uplifting season by the New York Knicks, losing Game 7 at home with basically half a roster. I got to be honest, I haven't really talked about the Knicks much since that game happened, even though it's been quite a few days. But I really wasn't even that upset because I wasn't totally shocked. You know, my heart said Knicks, but my mind said Pacers. And pretty much one quarter in, you just did not have a good feeling where it was going. Indiana played a lights-out game, shot the ball about as well as you can. Season over. And then Brunson breaks his hand. You pretty much knew. But, the future is bright, no doubt, for the New York Knicks, not just for next year, but for the next couple of years. So I wanted to look at the offseason, the players who are free agents, what some of the big decisions the Knicks are going to have to make as well. Now, as far as the cap situation goes, their cap is about $149 million, so the Knicks are already over the cap before even talking about free agents, and they won't be able to go after any of the top-tier free agents on the market without a little bit of financial maneuvering, so to speak. But the good news is, in the NBA, you are allowed to go over the cap to sign your own free agents. This is going to give the Knicks a chance to run it back with the team they had this year. And let's be honest, we didn't really get a fair look at how good they could have been. We never saw the entire lineup really together with Brunson, Randall, Anunoby, Hart, DiVincenzo, and on and on and on. And that brings us to OG Anunoby, which in my opinion is the number one priority for this free agency period. Now, he's got an $18 million player option, which he will no doubt opt out of and see what he can get on the open market. He'll need to make that decision by June 30th. He's probably already made his mind up. He just needs to make it official. Now, Anunoby is a very unique player. We've seen he could shoot outside. He plays amazing, tenacious defense on the wing. Very, very hard to find that kind of a player. And once he went down with that hamstring injury in Game 2 against Indiana, the Knicks were never the same. Never, ever the same. Now, the Knicks can sign Anunoby to a max contract of 5 years, $245 million, so $45K a year. He has made it clear he wants a max contract, but with his injury history, not just this year, but in previous years, how much can you really pay him? Now, I don't think the Knicks would have traded both R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quigley away, especially in the division, if they did not feel that they were going to sign him to a deal. So I do expect that one to come together. I would think somewhere around $140 million over 4 years, $35 million a year would be pretty fair. Because if you look at other wing players, Jeremy Grant, Jaden McDaniels, these types of guys who play a similar position to Anunoby, that's a pretty fair reference. They've been making in the low 30s per year. I think $35 million a year for Anunoby would be more than fair. I'd like to keep it at 30, but I think it's going to take 35. Now, if that number seems really high, remember, the NBA is getting a new TV rights deal. That salary cap is going to increase because it's not about how much you're paying a player. It's what percentage of the salary cap is he taking up. Okay, and that cap increase could be about 10% per year starting in the 25-26 year. And the Knicks better take care of Anunoby because there are rumors that their neighbors to the south, the Philadelphia 76ers, if they can't sign Paul George, they're going after Anunoby. You cannot lose him to Philadelphia. And Isaiah Hartenstein, another priority free agent. He has been a very, very good free agent signing, given the Knicks 2 good years. He's only 26 years old. He played 25 minutes per game this year, averaged 7.8 points, 8.3 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.2 steals, and a block per game. But he's not a great defensive center, which is why he's a very good complement to Mitchell Robinson. In the playoffs, he allowed 65% shooting from inside 6 feet, and he allowed basically 64% during the regular season. Not good. So you sort of have the yin to Robinson's yang, and Mitchell Robinson is under contract for a few more years. Now, the thing with Hartenstein, with his contract, the Knicks don't have his full Larry Bird rights, so they could sign him to a minor raise, something like 4 years, $18 million a year. But other teams are going to be able to throw in excess of $20 million per season his way. One team I think that's going to be on the lookout for him is Orlando. They wanted him 2 years ago, but he opted to go to the Knicks. I think Orlando, who's already a pretty good team, will go after him. So it's up to Hartenstein. Does he care about the money? Does he care about the home he seems to have found in New York? I think he's going to be looking to getting paid. I really do. I don't think I would overpay him. I would bring him back for maybe $15 million a year, something like that. I don't think he would take it. But I think with all the first-round picks the Knicks have, both this year and the next couple of years, Hartenstein, if you draft correctly, is the type of player you could potentially replace. All right. I don't think the Knicks are keeping both Anunoby and Hartenstein. And if that's the case, I got to keep Anunoby because I think Hartenstein's a little bit more replaceable. Now, a couple of other free agents that we'll touch on. Alecburks, he's an unrestricted free agent. Had a nice run in the Eastern Conference Finals, but let's be honest. In the regular season, he was useless. He was 33 years old. I don't see him coming back. Shake Milton, 27 years old. He barely got in. Another unrestricted free agent. He can go. All right, and then you have a few club options here. Jericho Sims, the former second-round player out of Texas, hasn't done much to earn a lot of meaningful playing time going forward, but he's 25 years old, has a $2.09 million option. I would execute that option. I'd bring him back. Then you have Daquan Jeffries. He's been waived by the Knicks already on 3 separate occasions. I don't see him coming back. And then you have some restricted free agents, the biggest one being Precious Achiuwa. Okay, so when the front court depth became a real issue for the Knicks in the playoffs, Achiuwa really stepped in. He was sort of a throw-in the Anunoby trade, but it worked out quite well. But he's got the attitude and toughness that Coach Thibodeau really loves. Oh, speaking of Tom Thibodeau, extension. He's got 1 more year under contract. I'm saying it again, extension. He's earned it. All right, so I would like to bring back Achiuwa. Other than that, you've got Jacob Toppin, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and Peanut, all those. No, Charlie Brown, seriously, and Dwayne Washington Jr. They're all restricted free agents. To me, it's all take it or leave it with all of them. Do what you want to do. But another big decision there's 2 more decisions I want to mention that the Knicks have to make. One is Jalen Brunson, and are they able to get an extension done with him? Now, he's under contract through 24-25 with a player option for 25-26. If he declines that player option, he could sign a maximum contract for $270 million over 5 years. So that contract would run through 2030. But Brunson is also eligible to sign an extension with the Knicks. He could do that as soon as July 13th. Now, that extension can be 4 years, so not 5 years, but 4 years and up to $156 million. So that's $39 million a year. That would take Brunson through the 28-29 season, and rumors have been circulating Brunson is open to taking that deal. So if he is willing to, save that to not get paid as much as maybe he deserves to get paid, take several $1 million less per year to allow the Knicks to make more moves, wow, that would be incredible flexibility that the Knicks would have in future off seasons. And, it's interesting because Brunson, when he signed in 2022, agreed to a descending deal. So he got paid more to begin, but it's going to be less going forward. The other decision the Knicks are going to have to make is on Bojanbogdanovic. He has a salary in 24-25 for $19 million, but it's only guaranteed right now for $2 million. So the Knicks can waive him without any more penalty. They have to do that by June 26. Okay, so if they keep him on the roster past June 26, that $19 million becomes fully guaranteed. Now, he's a good bench scorer, so they could keep him, but that also might be something that they would look to make a trade for because that is a cheap contract potentially for $2 million that other teams might have interest in taking. So if the Knicks make a trade for a superstar, like a Devin Booker, I don't think it'll be Mikal Bridges. I don't think Brooklyn will ever trade him to the Knicks. Maybe a 3-way trade happens. But Bogdanovic's contract, along with some first-round picks, could become a useful piece. So those are just a couple of things going on with the Knicks offseason that we'll bear watching throughout June and July and, of course, over the draft as well. Those are some of my thoughts on what I would do. My God, I want Jalen to take that extension for 4 years. Oh, that'd be amazing. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Check me out for more content. Remember, we go live Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. for the Wednesday night live show, especially if you're a Jets fan. Check that out. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.